all these mutas that he already has spawned. Now, these mutas can take out Hellions easily because obviously Hellions do not have anti-air, but looks like the Hellions are going to go in again, but this time they are going to get taken out. Oh no, they are going for the main again. But they do have low health, and they are going to easily get taken out by these Speedlings and Queen. So right now, drewbie does need... Oh, he has placed some missile turrets. Very clever. Great timing on the counter, but he does need some... Oh yes, and Thors would be great against mutas. He does need something other than Hellions, because those Hellions can be easily countered by IdrA's mutas. And so it looks like he is going to bring that Thor up to deal with these mutas, since it looks like the mutas have destroyed that extractor, or assimilator, no, actually, refinery, thank you. God. And he doesn't have siege tech research, but he does have one tank, so perhaps it's kind of hard to tell what build he is focusing on, maybe mech, maybe infantry, but those mutas just chilling right outside his base, so we'll see what happens. Oh, and IdrA is bringing all these Speedlings, and he is going to run right by it. No, he isn't going to be able to. There are too many Marines. IdrA is moving back after seeing that force. Back to his base. Meanwhile, IdrA, he says yay for Terran. IdrA is getting a third hatchery, and looks like his main and his expansion are both fully saturated, and his third hatchery is just in time. Drewbie says agreed. I don't know if you guys agree with the Terran versus Zerg, all the talk on the forums, you know, the Terran's so OP against Zerg and everything. And perhaps, I know that IdrA personally has quite a few strong opinions about that matchup, but we'll have to see what how Blizzard deals with that. Now it looks like the drone count, the harvester count is about the same, but those mules, they are equal as of now, and those mules add extra minerals. So looking at his income, they are about equal, yes. And we haven't seen... Oh, here comes... His mutas are just stocking up right here. Probably going to harass right into his main right here. I don't know how much damage he can do with that many Thors and missile turrets, so we will see what he is up to. Let's look at their... Let us look at their units again. So 3 Thors, 3 tanks, and 9 Marines. So drewbie has quite a nice force for anti-air, but right now, oh, he is building another command center and a starport. Personally, I would have built that starport quite a few minutes earlier, but you know, I have no right to criticize him because he's much better player than I am. And it looks like, ooh, IdrA is getting banelings, yes. And it looks like that scan went down in IdrA's base, so that he probably saw those banelings morphing in. But if those banelings can get straight through this wall off, then Speedlings can run right through it. And those banelings might do quite a lot of damage against these Marines too. And I mean, the majority of drewbie's force is mech, is true, but we'll see. We'll see how they deal with those mutas once they confront. IdrA is saturating his third expansion, or second expansion, third base. Those mutas just standing at the bottom of the map. We'll see what he tries to do with those mutas. Oh, looks like drewbie is trying to destroy these destructible rocks right here. Perhaps he's trying to move out this way through the gold and into IdrA's base. We'll see what he tries to do. He has sieged up these tanks, probably for defense. IdrA hasn't moved out with his Mutalisks yet. Perhaps when he realizes that drewbie is moving out with his main force, perhaps that's when IdrA will choose to move into the back door. Well, I wouldn't say the back door, but into his main to strike from behind while drewbie's main force is engaged. Looks like IdrA hasn't produced anything more than mass speedlings, banelings, and mutas for his attacking forces. He is getting an infestation pit, probably for the Spire or infestors, I'm not sure. But he's expanding that creep all the way, and he already has all the way out here. So I do like that creep highway play. Oh, it looks like he is going to do some harass with those mutas. They are moving out. And we'll see what they... Oh, they do go against this one Thor and one missile turret, but I don't think this many mutas will have a problem dealing with one Thor and a missile turret. And these tanks cannot do anything to these mutas. We will see how much damage he can cause with this muta harass. There is another Thor. We'll see how he... I like the way he splits up his Mutalisk so that they don't take too much splash damage from the Thor attacks. I like that. Now, drewbie does have Medivacs, and he does have Mass Marines, so IdrA's Muta's got to be careful there. Can't run right through that. Another Thor bringing in, and IdrA is going to retreat. Perhaps... Nope, he is going to retreat toward his bases. Now, drewbie, ooh, he is moving out of Command Center to grab this gold expansion, but IdrA, I don't know if IdrA knows about this. No, he does not know about this yet, but this Zergling is going to scout it, and he now realizes that drewbie has tried to get this gold. And yes, this mass speedling ball is going to overwhelm this expansion. Now those tanks are going to pack quite a punch to these speedlings, but there's just so many that they can just surround and kill the mechs so fast. Thor, the tanks go down so quickly. But yes, he did get a planetary fortress, which is what he did need at the gold. And these tanks did kill quite a few of the Zerglings, so the planetary fortress did hold out, and drewbie is going to start mining away at the gold. Meanwhile, at the top right-hand corner of the map, IdrA has built another hatchery. That will be his third expansion, fourth base. And the mutas are still flying around drewbie's main. Now, IdrA, but the important factor about IdrA's play right now is that he has map control, and he has, look at this, he has surrounded drewbie into this tiny corner of the map. All drewbie has is his main base right here, his natural, and the gold. The gold will help him a lot, but it's very hard to protect. So if IdrA decides to move out, here comes the confrontation. IdrA did decide to move out to the main. He's using his forces, but he has to retreat. There are just too many Terran units for IdrA to just go in with these mutas and lings. Those lings get ripped to shreds so quickly. Let's take a look at the production tab. See what he's... Oh, adrenal glands. Yes. IdrA is really going to stick to that Zergling play and make cracklings, if you will, quote, quote. And it looks like he is getting an Ultralisk Cavern. Yes, he is tacking up to Ultralisk. Once those Ultralisks come out, they will just rip through this Marine ball. Even with those Medivacs, I think. Oh, and he has... Here comes the confrontation. Excuse me. Here comes the confrontation. The Zerglings are running out, and those Banelings are exploding against the ball, but they are trying to retreat with stim packs. And those mutas are chasing them down. Don't know how this will end. Those tanks getting eaten up by the Zerglings. Looks like IdrA is going to push the Terran forces back, and the Marines are getting killed by the Medivacs. So IdrA is massing up again on mutas, lings, and banelings. And we will see, he is getting plating upgrades, yes, and 4 Ultralisks on the way. So we'll see what he decides to do with these 4 Ultralisks once they spawn. But yes, going back to that map control I was talking about, IdrA has, look at this, IdrA has so much map control, just this entire part of the map IdrA has, and only drewbie can only control this much. So drewbie really needs, first of all, expansions to keep up with IdrA's macro, and second of all, he needs to do some damage to IdrA's bases, which he hasn't done yet. He hasn't really moved out successfully. So perhaps a drop into IdrA's main or natural or somewhere to put a dent in IdrA's macro. That's what he needs to do right now. But IdrA can just, without that attack or harass that drewbie needs to do, IdrA can just, you know, constantly make forces and attack and make more forces and just constantly repeat until drewbie is even mined out at everything he has. So he is taking his natural right now. While IdrA, oh, here comes his Mutalisk. Looks like he is going to move out with his bulk of his forces soon. Let's see what else is making. He's making 4 more Ultralisks and there are more production. Let's look at the income tab. Whoops. Because of the mules, looks like the income is fairly equal so far, but if IdrA chooses to go for it, he can just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of all the left expansions, and drewbie can't do much about it because IdrA has such a mobile force that they can, and if he creeps between them, he can get there so quickly to defend all of them. And now it looks like IdrA is going to move out to try to take out drewbie's gold because he can't let drewbie have the gold.